Last night, Portugal defeated Spain to win the Nations League. Portugal defied the odds, they defied expectations, and they erased the last several years of absolutely terrible play. How did we get here? How did all of this happen? How did it all turn around? My name is Howie. This is Positively Portugal. Let's get into it. After a miserable 2022 World Cup that saw the benching of Cristiano Ronaldo and the sacking of former manager Fernando Santos, Portugal followed it up with an equally miserable 2024 Euro tournament. And this team looked dead in the water. Cristiano Ronaldo looked like he had one foot in a retirement home. And the biggest problem was at his age, that's to be expected, but nobody was lending any kind of a hand. You had star players like Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva missing in action. Rafael Leao started every game but was completely useless after 20 to 25 minutes. And of course, there's guys who we've spoken about on this channel, specifically Joao Felix, who has no business being called up to the national team and is the worst player in the world. And the last time we had seen Portugal was March 23rd. They had just eliminated Denmark in the Nations League quarterfinals on a 5-3 aggregate. They won that second leg 5-2 after losing the first leg 1-0. And even though it was a 3-goal difference in that game, it didn't come easy. It took 2 late goals by Trincao and 1 by Gonçalo Ramos to put it over the top. And yeah, even though it was kind of a blowout winning that game by 3 goals, let's face it, it still went to extra time. So you could easily say that Denmark just ran out of gas. I'm not too sure how many people thought that Portugal could beat Germany. And if they did beat Germany, how would they ever beat the winner of France versus Spain? So the semifinal was last Wednesday against Germany. And Germany is a solid team. They play well together. The problem is they had a couple of key injuries. Jamal Musiala is out. Antonio Rudiger is out. And Germany has the same issue as Real Madrid. There's not many good things going on after the retirement of Toni Kroos. So Florian Wirtz scored Germany's goal. It looked offside to me. Conceição scored for Portugal. Really nice goal, and good to see that kid back and in the mix of things. And Cristiano Ronaldo scored the game winner. That also looked offside to me. That's something that we need to talk about. The officiating in the Nations League was absolutely putrid, and they had VAR. I don't think I've ever seen instances in 2 rounds of play in any tournament where VAR was consistently wrong. So Portugal beats Germany in the semifinal 2-1. It should have been 1-0, but at least the correct team won. So despite all the bad performances and barely squeaking out wins against inferior competition, Portugal finds themselves in the final of the Nations League, playing for their 3rd international title. And turns out they're going to play against their next-door neighbor, Spain, who's been a juggernaut, the defending Euro champion, although they nearly blew a big lead against France. But it's a battle of the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal versus Spain. So Spain kicks off the scoring in the 21st minute on a goal by Zubimendi. Again, quite frankly, I thought it was offside. I don't think that goal should have counted. But 5 minutes later, Nuno Mendes, who is now the best left back in the world, has no competition. He levels the game before Oyarzabal scores one just before halftime, which, again, I don't think it should have counted. It looked to me like Bernardo Silva was clearly fouled in the lead up to that goal. And speaking of Bernardo Silva, that man showed up yesterday, which was the first time in a very long time that Bernardo Silva had shown up. And same for Bruno Fernandes, who was really good. And Bruno was also really good against Germany. And the thing that helped Portugal the most out of anything was consistency. Cristiano Ronaldo gets a helping hand. And you know what happens when he gets that helping hand? Well, he scores the game-tying goal in the 61st minute. So now it's 2-2. Late in the game, Rafael Leao comes on. Now, Leao had been starting everything for as long as anyone can remember. But he didn't even get into the game against Germany. Now he comes on as a late substitution, and you got to hand it to him. He was an absolute menace, creating opportunities, opening up the field, running Spain's defense ragged. This is the best performance I've seen in a very long time from Rafael Leao, and it looks like Roberto Fernandes figured this out with him. Leao can't start, at least not for Portugal. I don't know what the guy does at Milan. To be frank, I don't care. You know, I have to spend all my time watching Portuguese football and some Spanish football. But I know for a fact that Leao doesn't do a whole hell of a lot for Portugal. His attention span seems to last no more than 25 minutes. And when you bring him in as a late substitution, you get that burst of energy, and time runs out on the game before he loses interest. So it was an anomaly, and it was really great to see Leao play well, along with Silva and Fernandes. So regular time comes to an end. They play the two halves of extra time. It goes to penalties. Usually in penalties, there's not a lot to analyze unless someone makes just, the worst miss in the world. Maybe it goes flying over the bar into the crowd. But yeah, usually not much to analyze in penalties. A lot of times it's just a matter of luck. Last night it was with Portugal. Portugal defeats Spain 5-3 on penalties, and they are the first country to win the Nations League twice. You had that with their 2016 Euro title, and all of a sudden, you say to yourself, hey, Portugal's got quite the pedigree now. And it looks like it clicked with this group of players. It clicked with the decisions of the manager. And you have to say to yourself, if they can get the right lineup, the right substitutions at the right time, keep everyone motivated, and I know that's a lot, but there's no reason to believe why Portugal cannot win the World Cup next summer. They're definitely a contender. And yes, Cristiano Ronaldo will only continue to slow down. The man is still a human being. Time will catch up with him. But with everybody motivated, with the right substitutions and the right starting lineup, well, some games it can be Vitinha. Maybe one night it'll be Leao, Bruno, even Conceição, who was brilliant against Germany. And you see that there's a future, there's young guys, there's a team now. It's no longer a group of players. It was actually pretty damn special and inspirational to watch last night. And I'm just really proud to be living here. I'm proud to be adopted by the Portuguese people. And I had a great time. I'm going to leave you with some video that I took in the center of Guimarães last night. And, this came out of nowhere. I did not expect Portugal to win the Nations League. I don't think many people did, but here we are now. So if you want more videos about moving to Portugal, the process of getting here, Portuguese football, anything Portugal related, please like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. These are the best things you can do to help a content creator on YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching, and Força Portugal! All right, good evening once again, everybody. I had intended to show some of the footage from the center of Guimarães last night, the celebrations, However, some of the video that I took included parts of the trophy ceremony from network television. And that's a big no-no. That's a copyright infringement. I don't even know where to get started on that because that's stupid. Nobody watching my video was watching it because there would have been a minute or two from the trophy ceremony on television. So this is an issue that I faced before with music. So I'm just not showing any of what took place in Guimarães last night. The other thing I want to say is I keep calling Roberto Martinez, the manager of Portugal, Roberto Fernandes. That is not his name. It is Roberto Martinez. I've done this at least a couple of times now on the videos I make of the Portuguese national team, so apologies for that. Yeah, so again, just wanted to show you some of the celebrations from Guimarães last night, but unfortunately, due to ridiculous copyright issues, I will not be able to do that.